Hi class, Chef Twa here. As promised, I was going to do a video that's very relevant to this week, and being that we're in Asia, something that is quite common in terms of dessert that we're all quite familiar with, that's become very trendy and modernized, especially in Thai restaurants, is sticky mango sticky rice. And so I'm doing a little bit of a more like a my version type of mango sticky rice, but this is kind of like the basis of it. It's a very simple recipe. You have rice, sticky rice. Sometimes it's called glutinous rice, and so you want to make sure that you don't just get any type of long grain rice. Glutinous rice is more sticky rice. It has a little bit more of a textural component to it, whereas just like regular rice, long grain rice, it becomes soft, right? This has a little bit of more texture to it that it can actually hold up like the coconut sauce really well and prevent it from getting soggy. And so sticky rice is very common in Asia. I think I grew up eating this on a weekly basis. There's different colors, different varieties. You can do so many versions of it, even a savory version with sticky rice. But we're gonna do the mango sticky rice. And so I have about 2 cups of glutinous rice right here that I soaked overnight. It needs to soak overnight so that it can actually be kind of bloomed in a way so that it actually steams really well. And once it steams, what you're trying to look for is a nice translucent color to the grain, which will definitely identify that it's actually cooked through, okay? And so I do have some other items I want to show you guys. I have pandan leaves. So pandan leaves are kind of like a very fragrant floral leaves. I call it the vanilla of Asia, partly because we put this in everything. We infuse this flavor of these leaves right here into our coconut sauce, into drinks, into a lot of different foods, and it creates this beautiful floral note. It's kind of like a young coconut leaf, and it just smells really good, and I love the smell of that. And so we'll be adding some of this into the coconut milk itself, and also some of it into the rice while it's steaming so that you can get those floral notes infused into the rice grain itself, okay? And so I also have some banana leaves. I did have some banana leaves so that I can actually put the soaked rice right onto it. I usually double it up because these are super fragile. They tear so easily, and let me go ahead and show you. I could just pull it apart and actually push my finger through, and it would just tear like a little part in right here. And so if that tears, all your rice is gonna fall right through that. So you always wanna double layer it. And I always see that when you see the lines are here, you wanna kinda crisscross the lines. One's laying this way, one's going this way instead of this. That way it can give a little bit more structure to the banana leaf. But what I do, I'm gonna be steaming the rice first. I have my little steamer right here. If you have a bamboo steamer, even better. A bamboo steamer, which is very traditional to use, helps release the moisture in the steam a lot more so that it doesn't get soggy in areas. Sometimes when there's too much evaporation of the steam just creates like droplets of water, which could cause your rice to be a little bit soggy. And so having a bamboo one, a bamboo steamer, helps really regulate the steam, and that's why dumplings, and you see at dim sum restaurants, they use a lot of bamboo type of steamers. But I have my banana leaves that I'm just gonna put right into here. Okay, so I got my banana leaves all pushed into here. Just creating a little bowl for it. I'm gonna pour my 2 cups of rice that was soaked overnight right into the pot. And so what you wanna do is that after you add it into the pot right here, you do wanna create a central part, so that the rice can actually have some of the steam come through the center, and you can actually see it right here. Kind of create a center, and that just kind of helps it soak or steam off a little bit more on the even side. Sometimes when you have too much pile in the center, it doesn't cook through. So I'm gonna get that over the steamer, and we'll start getting the prep for the mango rice. Right, we have this rice steaming right here. You kind of see how it's all coming together really nicely. It has that nice sticky texture to it. And I like to always kind of test it, feel it to see if there's any parts that are maybe undercooked. And just eating it, just take a little bit and eat it and just kind of chew on it. If you notice like the texture of like raw rice, and it just needs more time to steam, okay? But midway through, what you want to do is you just want to you know, let the bottom go to the top and the top hit the bottom so that it can cook evenly, okay? So we're gonna give that maybe a few more minutes. Literally took me about 20 minutes to get to this texture after just putting it on. And part of why it cooks so quickly is because we soaked it overnight, which really helped. If you don't soak it overnight, it's really hard to get a really nice, even, sticky texture to it, and you most likely will end up with raw rice that will not cook through. All right, and so in this sauce or pan right here, the skillet, usually I put it in a pot or like a saucepan, but I wanted so it was a little bit shallower so you could actually see it. But I have 1 can of coconut milk. I like to use this brand right here, Chowco, and I have a 1/4 cup of sugar in here as well as 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And after I add that in, this is gonna be our coconut sauce that we're gonna add into our, finish on the top of our, our mango sticky rice at the end. And so with the pandan leaves, the beautiful floral notes, I gave it a good wash. And what we like to do sometimes when you're cooking it, it definitely kind of gets all over the place. So you want to kind of keep it contained in one area, easy to scoop out as soon as it infuses in. It can infuse in as long as it wants, but sometimes in Thailand or in Asia, you just want to tie it really well just so that when you scoop it, it doesn't, you know, get in the way, so it kind of keeps it contained. So I just kind of created a little knot of it, and then I'm just going to add it in, and I'm going to cook this down until the sugar dissolves. It doesn't need to get to like a high boil or anything, just until the sugar dissolves, until it has a light boil is what we're looking for. So I'm going to get that cooking, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So I love serving my mango sticky rice into these little banana leaf bowls that I usually make. They are super cute. You know, they are just really cute for presentation, but very common in Southeast Asia to be serving stuff into, banana leaves. And because when you cook this into the banana leaves and the pandan leaves, it also really creates a beautiful floral notes from the pandan, but a bit of like a nice earthy type of flavor from the actual banana leaf itself. Okay, and so I cut out 2 versions right here. I can include in a video for you guys that actually have a much more in-depth step-by-step. This one I'm just gonna do it really quickly just because I just want to show you guys. I have 2 strips that are the same size, one that's slightly smaller in, not length, but in terms of the width right here. And so this is usually how I do it. We'll go ahead and grab a toothpick. The toothpick is actually going to keep it together really nicely, but start with crisscross from here, and you're just going to see that it's going to be kind of repetitive movements, but do want to show you guys, and of course I'll get more, you can get more in depth on how to do this with the video that I included in, okay? About tucking in the sides at this point and creating the bowl and tightening it. get your edges in, and there you have it. A little mini bamboo bowl. I made a few here so that we can make a bunch of it later, but it turned out pretty well. So we're gonna do these champagne mangoes just because they are my favorite, and they just have such beautiful color to them, and they just taste so good just because the smell, there's tartness to it. It's usually much sweeter if you let it get a little bit more ripe. However, I like mine a little bit tart sometimes, so I like to go and pick the ones that are not way too ripe. But they have such great texture to them, much softer than the green mango and much juicier, so you get a little bit more flavor. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, and we're gonna cut these really beautifully, nicely, carefully, of course. And I love cutting them super thin. Part of why you want it very thin is because you can make roses out of them. Fan them out, make them into roses. They turn really beautiful into gorgeous, gorgeous garnishes. So, usually like to pick it up, shape it, however you'd like. This is going to be a lot of mango, so it's going to probably, you know, create maybe garnishes for maybe 3 different varieties. But sometimes you can do really cool designs with these. Like a little mini rose right here with the mangoes, and I keep them together. But kind of see it like that. There. All right, so I have the rice nice and steamed. Go ahead and try to take it out without dropping it. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful texture. I'm not sure you can see it. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer here. You can see right here. Beautiful texture, turned out really nice. When you eat into it, it's nice and sticky, but it's not soggy. We don't want it to be soggy. Okay, and this is a really good time for you to kind of get it all incorporated really well, because some parts on the bottom may be a little bit more on the wetter side, so if you kind of incorporate it, it kind of creates this beautiful texture. And you can actually see some green to the bottom of the rice right here, and that nice tint is where all that flavor of that banana leaf will come in, and so it creates this beautiful, beautiful scent to it. Oh, and I did take out one of my banana, or one of the pandan leaves. Sounds like panda, but I did take out the pandan leaf that was that we originally used earlier. It was sitting a little bit tucked under. I did take that out earlier, and I forgot to show that to you guys. But it also really helps give it a beautiful floral note. And so what happens here? It's gonna be super fun, because what you get to do now, you know how we did our little bowls earlier with pandan leaves hanging out? Now you just fill it. Create this really beautiful bowl of sticky rice. Super cute, right? And then what you want to do at this point is actually pour the coconut in, but I'm gonna actually finish filling all this before I do that. So we'll be right back. All right, I got them all filled, and what I did do to some of them is that I did push. All right. So I got them all filled, and so I did try to create like a little bit of a hole in between each one, just kind of so that the sauce can get really down to the bottom to the coconut sauce that we're gonna pour in. So that coconut sauce, I cooked it down. It can be served hot. Since the sticky rice is usually served hot, I usually like the sauce to be, the coconut sauce itself to be very, very hot as well during the serving process. But Okay. So here we have our coconut sauce with the pandan cooked in there, giving it this nice flavor profile, nice and creamy. And you're not going to get a lot of flavor out of the sticky rice itself. All the flavor comes from the fruit and also the coconut sauce, because we did add sugar and a little bit of salt into this sauce right here. So, turned out, and that looks like the dragon fruit color, so I think that works really nice for our presentation. And can't wait to show you the final product. I'm trying to not show you yet, because drum roll and just for the effect, for the drama, you can say. But let's hope, I hope you guys like it. Okay, all right, there we go, all finished and ready to be served.